I think part of the challenge is really just changing the conversation. So if you're going to go super narrow and just orient to salary, it's like, okay, there is an aspect of you need to be in the range, but if that's going to be the sole measure of satisfaction and retention, you have to change the conversation and really zoom out, talk about all this other stuff, and really help the employee self-reflect on what are they getting here, how are we different, what's the value adds that come beyond just the salary. Now, what I would tell you is you got to be in the range. People aren't going to work for a discount despite all that other good stuff. So you have to be minimally competitive to start. But for those folks that are saying, we're going to be really dialing up on salaries, our differentiator, the reality is there's such small degrees of freedom that you have in terms of managing within the budget. Like, okay, someone's going to get 8%, someone's going to get 2%. At the end of the day, that's really not going to be a overly large proportion of their total compensation. And so if you look at it from that lens, you would say you're not really moving the needle on salary other than just keeping pace with what the market rate would be.
And I would say, right, to add to that is I've seen companies that only had base and they kind of had a market position of 50th percentile. And I think what a lot of it is what they did is really get them, like Rob said, change the kind of conversation, is really have them focus on, look who you're working with. Don't you really enjoy here the culture, right? It's very much other things because, right, we see companies can retain people even though they're giving them barely 2-3% increase a year, and the base is the only thing that they really have to offer. And it's really about like, hey, you kind of know what you're going to get when you come into the job. The people you work with, you really like the people you work with, right? You like the commute. It's all these other things that you're talking to them about that gets them to kind of stay and say, not really want to look out there.